In this video, I'm gonna break down NFT branding. Let's get started. First of all, let's talk about why we should care about NFT branding on the first place. OpenSea is the world's largest NFT marketplace at the moment, and they recorded over $2 billion in trading volume last January. This number will only increase in the next months as Coinbase enables NFT trading on their platform. There's currently about 1 million active users on OpenSea right now, and there's about 8.8 million active users on Coinbase. So you can see how this is gonna pump the numbers up. That only tells me that there's gonna be more and more brands being built on the NFT space, and the big established companies and brands will jump into the space to try to make some profit. So my question is, where's all the hype coming from? And why are people willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for an image, for a PNG? Well, the answer, what I've come to realize, it's not just a PNG. The product, the thing that they're buying, it's a PNG, but really what they're paying for, it's a brand. It's what's behind that project. It's the stake on that project. It's a community. It's a promise about the roadmap, and it's the expectation that this project will go up in value. So basically what I'm trying to say here is every NFT project is a brand, and actually not just a brand, but the ultimate expression of branding. Like literally people are paying money to have a stake on your project, to have a part of your brand when there's literally no product. Like you're getting an image, but there's nothing built yet. Like a lot of these NFT projects are being sold with a roadmap saying, hey, we'll build this, but there's nothing built today. So you're buying, when you're buying an NFT, you're buying into the promise of what this brand will deliver. I think it's fascinating. So how are NFT brands built? To talk about that, let's take a step back and see what we can learn from traditional branding. Many people think that the ultimate goal of a brand is to sell more, to grow business. And yeah, I kind of think that's true, but from my point of view, the ultimate goal of a brand is to build trust. And growing a business, making it relevant for a longer period of time, or selling more, those are byproducts, consequences from building trust. If you're interested in that, I have another video where I dive deep on these concepts, but for the sake of this specific video, I'm just gonna stop here and elaborate on that. In the past decades, brands have, in my opinion, prioritized a lot the first area of focus on how you can build trust. So a lot of them have over-indexed on how perfect they are, how good they are, how their products are better than their competitors and stuff like that. So we've seen brands do advertisement that sometimes is now even surreal to look at. In their advertisement, most brands have been talking about how good their products are and how well they're gonna solve your problems. That, in my opinion, is traditional branding. The other two areas of focus, consistency and consideration, have not been the primary focus for a lot of brands up until now. Now, I believe we are transitioning from what I call traditional branding to the new era of branding, in which consideration is actually the most important thing, and transparency and consistency is actually something very, very valuable for a brand. So as a customer, you probably can relate to that. We don't expect brands to be perfect. We know perfection doesn't exist, and we have some sort of tolerance for mistakes and what brands can do. But we really expect brands to care about us and to care about the things that we care about, like the planet and the values that we share with the brands that we like, and that kind of stuff. I'm seeing a transition from perfection to authenticity, relatability, transparency, and honesty. Now, why am I talking about this? Because this is especially relevant for NFT projects and NFT brands. What you are paying is for the future of that project, or in other words, how much you trust in that project to be successful. Now, when we put that in terms of branding, really what you're paying is for how much you trust that brand to be successful in the future, or to go up in value. That's why I think NFT brands are so interesting, because the way you're supposed to build an NFT brand for success is very different from what we are used to brands doing for the last 10 years. So those three things are basically building blocks from brands in 2022. So you have community, you have the story of the company, And then you have the roadmap, the vision of the things that will get built in the future. So that's why I think NFTs are so interesting, because it's all about branding. As an example, if you think about Bored Apes, I believe, and if I'm wrong, please correct me on the comments, I believe that Bored Apes exploded because some celebrities started buying those Bored Apes and became part of the community. I think Snoop Dogg did like started buying some stuff, then Eminem, then like a lot of different celebrities decided they wanted their Bored Ape, and that they became part of the Bored Apes community, and that community all of a sudden like exploded in terms of value because of the people who were involved in that community. Another example is VeeFriends by Gary Vee. I think that's a very clear example on how the product doesn't really mean anything. He created these drawings himself that are ugly as like they're terrible. But what's interesting about this is that he's selling a participation on his own personal brand that has been established for the last 10 years, right? And so when you buy a VeeFriend, really what you're buying is a participation on the Gary Vee brand. He'll give you access on some stuff, so the product itself, the NFT itself, it's not as valuable as what it means and the things that allows you to do. One last example could be the Beans NFT project. The Beans NFT project is built around the brand that was created 10 years ago for like a campaign that won some awards called Dumb Ways to Die. This is a brand built on nostalgia around these characters that we know from 10 years ago that were like really cute, and that, you know, it was a cultural moment that some of us were part of. So we have these feelings, we remember that, and the Beans project, in my opinion, is building a brand over that nostalgia. So that's a cool starting point. But what happened on the public sale is that some people were trying to buy NFTs. They were losing money because transactions were not working for some people, and then the owners of the project didn't seem to really provide a lot of solution. So that's an example of how if you are perceived as not care about your community, you're not gonna have probably a successful brand. Maybe in the future they fix those things. I hope they do well. I really like these characters. But anyway, that was just an example to show you that why some brands are more successful than others, in my humble opinion. What do you think? Can you relate to this? Do you have any experience that, you know, is similar to what I'm sharing here? Do you have a different experience you want to share? Let me know in the comments. Let's start the conversation. If you are new here and you're interested in that, subscribe, because like there's gonna be more videos like this coming. And if you don't want to subscribe, that's totally fine. But if you like this video, I would really appreciate if you can leave a like, just to let me know that I'm providing value to you. And if you're following already, that's great, because that means that I'll see you on the next video. Bye.